Hi students, today we will be adding using the part-part-whole method. So our goal today says I can represent addition using pictorial models. We are in TEK 3.5a for this. When you get to your slide number 2, there's a video for you to watch. We have 2 review problems, so it's going to cover slide number 2 and slide number 3. So let's move on to learning. Here we have what is called a part-part-whole. The part-part-whole can be used to represent addition and subtraction problems. So here's how it works. So I have my addition problem down here. I have 23 plus 41 equals 64. So my 2 numbers that are being added are considered my parts. And then my total, my answer, is considered my whole. So in what I have here is a bar, or bars that represent the 2 parts. So what you see down here, my kind of aqua green color is one of the parts. That's where it goes. So I might put the number 23 here in green. And then my other part, my number 41, would go in the purple. Now the answer goes in the whole, which you see covers both answers. So the answer means that it is covers both parts. So we're going to move on. So here we see another type. So the thing about it is when we get to different levels, what we start to do is change the size of the boxes to match the size of the number. So here I have 2 different numbers. I have 21, 7, and 35 all being added together. So 7 is way smaller than the numbers 21 or 35. So as you see, I have a box that's obviously smaller than the other 2. So my 7 would go in the box that is the smallest because it is the smallest number. My largest number is 35, so I have a box here that is larger than the others. So that is where the 35 would go, and then 21 would be is a number that is the middle size. So I have a box here to match that where it's kind of medium size. So I have a small, medium, and large to match numbers that I have down here where I have a small number, a medium number, and a large number. And then, of course, my 63 would go in the pink box because it is the whole and it represents all these numbers put together. So here's what we have. In an adding problem, we know our parts, but we don't know our whole yet. So we use those parts and then we figure out the whole. So I have an adding problem here. It says there are 4 fat pumpkins in a patch. There are also 8 skinny pumpkins. How many pumpkins are there in the patch in all? So there's a reason why I highlighted the words in all. As we begin to work through word problems, we need to start looking for clues so we know what the problem wants us to do. The words in all are a clue that means the problem wants us to add our numbers together. So when I see those in all, I say, oh, I'm going to add 4 plus 8. So what I have here then is my 2 parts. So I'm needing to add 4 plus 8. Let's write that down. 4 plus 8. All right, let me resize that so it's easier for you to see. Now I don't yet know my answer, or you might know your answer, but what I have here is an adding problem. And as you just saw, those numbers are going to go in my parts. So I don't know my whole yet. I don't know the answer for the pink box.
Good morning, Dr. Bulldog. We love it.
So we have our 2 parts here. We have the green, the kind of aqua color that represents one of our parts, and then we have our purple. And I have 2 numbers. So my green our aqua is obviously larger for in size than our purple is. So I'm going to take my larger number, which is the number 8, and I'm going to type it there. And then I have 4. All right. So then we can represent this. So this equals 12. So my answer here would go there. So I have 8, 4, and 12. Let's look at the next problem. Farmer Fred sold 6 pumpkins on Monday and 5 pumpkins on Tuesday. What is the total number of pumpkins he sold? So again, when we start to get into word problems, it's very important that we start looking at clue words. So there are certain clues that tell me whether or not I'm going to add or subtract. So here I've highlighted the word total. When you see the word total, it also means add. So we know in all means add, and we know total means add. So I have 2 numbers. Again, I have 6 and 5. So I'm going to write them again. I have 6 plus 5. So let's make that bigger for us. All right. Now 6 plus 5, we're really good at our numbers, and we've been practicing our number talk, so we know that that is 11. So now we're going to go ahead and represent that in our box. So here I have my aqua box, which is just a little bit bigger than my purple boxes. And in my aqua box, which I forgot to put text box in, I want the number that's a little bit bigger. So remember, these two are the parts. These are the numbers that are getting added together. So I have the 6 and the 5 getting added together, and the 6 is just a little bit bigger, so that's where my 6 is going to go. So let's go ahead and copy that. So I can put a new box in, so I can write it into my purple. All right, so I have another box. I'm going to resize it here. It needs to be a little smaller to fit our purple, doesn't it? All right. Now, we already have the 6, so let's erase that 6. I need my other number, my other part. So the other number that's being added is the 5. So here's where the 5 is going to go. And then our answer, of course, goes in the pink box, which represents both of them put together. So here, let's move this up. All right, so we're on our pink box, and this is where my answer is going to go. So here I have the number 11. So when we're representing our addition problems, our two numbers that get added together are going to go into the boxes that are separated into the parts. And then our answer is called the whole, and that is what goes into the long bar at the top, which represents both numbers put together. So for your work today, what you are expected to do, you're given word problems. There will be recordings of me reading the problems to you. And you have to choose which answer represents the problem. So if you think A is the right way to show the problem, B or C, you're just moving your circle over to circle the answer that represents this problem. So you have to match the model to the problem. You have that for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. When you finish with number 13, you are finished and you may turn it in.